Hey everyone, it's Tom here with Unranked. We are on the floor at PAX East, and I'm here with Daniel Sussman, Project Manager at Harmonix for the new game Fuser. How has your PAX been so far?
It's been fantastic. I mean, these shows, there's sort of a leap of faith as a developer where you are bringing something new, to a community of people who are playing something for the first time. That's one of the things that I think PAX does really well. And, we've had lines all day. I think a lot of people have had a lot of fun with Fuser, and it's been really exhilarating for me to watch,
Especially with it being announced so soon before the event kicking off. I feel like it was 2 days ago that it was announced, so...
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
So that must have been nerve-wracking.
It is. We've been working on this game for over a year. It's been a game that we've been thinking about for a long time, and it's in some ways, for me, it sort of reflects this journey, year to year, and so it's actually very nerve-wracking to work on a game that you can't really talk about.
Yeah.
So, yesterday was this great sigh of relief as we're able to actually sort of let people know what we're working on, and then again, the response has been just overwhelmingly positive, which is really fun.
So the booth here, we'll have some B-roll playing of the booth. Looks fantastic, great setup here. And yeah, the game itself plays awesome and is very clearly a kind of natural evolution from Drop Mix, which has been kind of Harmonix's main game that they've had out, which is a card game with a deck. I mean, it's people got to get their hands on Drop Mix because that shit is fucking cool.
I love Drop Mix, and in fact, you can trace sort of the evolution of the music mixing mechanic from Fuser to Drop Mix, and then back to Fantasia. Music evolved,
yeah, sure.
and I think for me, what we have with Fuser is this opportunity to bring that tech to people in a format that is super accessible and easy to work with, easy to get into, and more than anything else, I think there's an element of Fuser that it's like the fantasy of Fuser, the gameplay of Fuser is all focused around the creative element of music mixing, which was definitely there in Drop Mix, but as a card game, there was no narrative, right? And even the gameplay, it's like you're playing for points. You're not necessarily playing to kind of figure out who's making a better mix. And so I like the idea that in Fuser, we're sort of, narratively, you're a DJ at a music festival, right? You're performing for a giant crowd on this amazing, epic stage with fog and lights and all of it. And as you sort of play the game, you are, the game asks you to make creative decisions about, what combinations you think are going to work well, and timing and rhythm action elements, and then there's a lot more gameplay that will be sort of revealing down the road. The PAX demo is really just the first kind of most basic kind of view of how the game will work.
And that's really interesting to hear, because I was actually surprised how much there was. I was like, all right, so we're doing, we're mixing tracks, and the tech and how that's working is amazing, but the way you implement things like making sure you fill fan requests, and that's going to boost it. And one thing that I really loved was the timing aspect, because with Drop Mix, I always try and play a card on the beat, but with the fact that it's like an NFC chip in the card, the timing isn't always quite right. But here, it's like, no, the whole point is dropping a new track when the timing is right. So is the underlying software that's mixing it all, is it an evolution of what you already had, or is this something kind of you started from scratch? How much of a leap in tech is this from the Drop Mix?
It's a big leap, a huge leap, and I mean, it's funny. It's I think about that in the context of, 20 years of making games in Harmonix, and it's I see these stages, and I see, elements of kind of rock band stage design and lighting tech, and yet, it's new engine. It's basically, we've rebuilt everything from the ground up, but we're trading on the experience and talent of a group of people that have been making music games in a lot of different formats for years. But so, more than anything else, it's institutional knowledge more than tech,
Okay, cool. Awesome. And then one thing I was thinking when playing it, I was like, man, Would love to play this in some virtual reality, if you know what I mean. You know, you get those motion controls, dragging everything, because it has that dragging and dropping tracks, and then living the life of a DJ. Is that maybe something you guys have at least thought about, or?
I mean, chances are, if you've thought about it, we've thought about it. For me, I feel like I really want to go where the people are, and I feel like with music games traditionally, they have this weird life cycle where they're kind of a niche, and then every now and then something bursts into the sort of collective consciousness of like the media and the people. It breaks into pop culture in a way, and that's what we do this for. Is like to make an impact, and I feel like the best way to do that is to kind of be where all the people are, and so we're really focused on PS4, Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch, PC. These are our platforms for launch, and beyond that, I'm depending on sort of who's there and what they want to do, and kind of how the technology evolves and where the opportunities are. I'm not going to say no to anything, but we're pretty focused on kind of these 4 platforms, and kind of building on the demo that we've got here.
Is there anything else you would like viewers to know about the game that we haven't crossed right now?
I think the most important sort of bit that I would add as context to the demo, which you've seen, there's 16 songs in the demo, a single stage, a character. The game is much bigger than that. We'll have a soundtrack of over 100 songs. We'll have 6 stages. We have a character creator. There's multiplayer modes. There's like just a fucking ton of game here, and and then we'll release it, and we'll see what happens, right? And it's like you can imagine like all sorts of opportunities for new content, new songs, new stuff down the road. And so, we're very excited about the game. We think we have a really good idea, and I've been very kind of exhilarated by the response kind of yesterday as part of the announce, and then today. This is a consumer show. These people don't have a stake in the game. If they don't like it, they're not going to wait in line for it. And we've had lines all day. It's been really fun.
Yeah, it's very clear that people are enjoying it, and obviously having the music kind of pumping through the entire. It's like the sirens call.
So this is a collaboration with NCSoft, and they've done a fantastic job as a publisher, and I feel like we really sort of they fill us out in ways that we fill them out, and so I feel very capable in kind of my ability to sort of make a video game, and then it's really awesome to come in here. They did the booth design, the layout, and it's kind of magical actually.
Well, we're going to be doing a lot more coverage of Fuser as the months go on. It's dropping in fall of this year?
Fall this year, yeah.